Hi, this is Pete with Can-am Spyder. Today we're going to show you how to apply our extended paint protection kit on a Spyder F3. This is a new product for us. It was just created over the years since the F3 has come out. We've created various products to protect that tank area from all the unwanted scratches. But quite a few individuals or owners who have the F3 wanted more surface protected. So what we did is we created a paint protection kit that's basically going to cover all of this area. In front of where you sit. And it's quite extensive. But the way it was designed, we made it as user-friendly as possible as far as application is concerned. So let's get started, and we'll show you some application tips and tell you about the film itself. So the bike is inside, it's warm and dry. When you do your application of most peel and stick type products, you want to make sure you're 65 degrees or above temperature-wise. A controlled atmosphere, no wind blowing, no dust. We did prep the surface in advance with our 70% rubbing alcohol, kitchen paper towel, pretty much standard procedure for any peel and stick or graphic product. So when you get your kit, it's going to come as a pre-cut, so there's little to no trimming that would be needed to be done for this particular product. It's a little hard to see as it is on the paper, but this is the actual center template. And it would come to you ready to apply. So basically we're going to pull it off this liner and apply it on the surface. But before you do that, after your surface has been prepared, one of the first things you're going to want to do, and we'll talk about the slip mix as well, before touching the back side or adhesive side of the kit, you want to wet your hands. So make sure that your fingers are clean, and you can use your rubbing alcohol and paper towel to do that, and make sure that they're nice and wet. Water is used to apply the paint protection film, so it doesn't matter if the surface is soaked down. As a matter of fact, we encourage you to soak down the tank area before you start installing anyway. So you can just pick an edge, and you're going to kind of peel it off the backing paper, expose that adhesive side, and get it wet. Just soak it down. Expose a little bit more, soak it down, and take it all the way off the paper. So like I said, you can get it as wet as you want. So positioning wise, we put just a couple little notches. I'll show you. There's a little notch at the top of the kit up here, and there's a little notch at the bottom. So what you're trying to do here is position the kit in the center of the tank area. And it's made to go just below that bodyline ridge that you see on the tank itself. And then use the bottom notch to try to hit the center of the seat. And you can kind of set it into place and see where you need to be with the two wing ends over here. If they're even on each side of this opening here, then you know you're probably positioned where you need to be. So once you have it where you want, you can take a supplied squeegee that will be given to you. And whenever we're installing products like this, you always install from the center out. So basically right up the middle, and you can spray it to get it wet. And we're working from the middle to the outside. So there's a relief cut here, relief cuts here, and that's to help the material to conform, but really doesn't sacrifice in the way of protection. So work from your middle to your outsides, like that. And then you're going to work your way up. If it doesn't lay down the first time, it's not a real big deal, because you're going to go back and bump your edges anyway. When we get up to the top part of where the tank really starts to curve, you can start working from the middle to that outside. And if you need to, you can re-wet. On occasion, sometimes you can kind of tighten the film up and get it to pull down into position. Now with paint protection film, you're probably going to get some fingers like this. It's, like I said, not detrimental. Don't worry if they don't go right down. That's pretty much normal. But what you can do too is stretch the film to help it to conform. And of course we're working that water out from under the surface of the paint protection. And from the middle out. You can pick up your wing, re-wet it. It's not super complicated film to work with. I put a little bit of tension on it to help pull it into position and squeegee it down. And a lot of times it's just takes a little bit of patience. You know, don't panic if you get these fingers like you see right here. That's completely normal with paint protection film. So basically, in general, the kit, the centerpiece has been installed. When you get little fingers like that, what you can do is you take a piece of paper towel. This is to kind of help the process. Put it on the edge of your squeegee and start from the top surface on the paint protection film and push to the outside. Don't come back on top of it. You start from the down on top of it, push to the outside and lift up. Top and lift up. If you go back on it, you can catch an edge, and if it grabs the paper towel, it'll leave a bunch of fuzz under the adhesive. So start on the kit, push to the outside. And you can see, and that's called bumping your edges. And then we're going to go again from here to the outside. And you can bump here too. If you want to, you know, sometimes you can use your finger and continue to push. Now if you got a little stubborn end, wet your hand, wet the surface. You can pick it up because you just put it down. Wet it. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull on the film to help flatten it out. And a lot of times you can just take your finger, press down on it, and hold. And what that does is it'll just help the adhesive to tack if it needs to. And again, it's just about being patient. All right, so we'll come over here and push and bump. Push, here, push. So you got a couple little fingers, perfectly normal. Once you've bumped your edges and they're pretty much down, you have these couple little pieces. You can take some light heat, like a hair dryer, and don't go crazy on it. And so what you would do is warm it and push from the top of the paint protection surface out to the outsides. So you got that little finger there, and we're just warming it. Once you get your kit on all the way, you can warm it again and bump your edges. So that section is down. Just show it to you real quick. And if if it pops up again, it's not a problem. Just you can use a little bit of heat and do the same process. All right, so the center section is on. And over time, that's going to tack. So even if something pops a little bit, you can warm it and bump it again. So you would re-prep your surface near the kit, trying to not catch an edge. And then you're going to re-wet. Wet your fingers again. And now we have the outside pieces as part of this kit. So wet the piece. It was created to align next to each other, real tight, not on top, but very close. And we have some pictures of the kit when it was created in blue material. So you can kind of see how tight it is if you look at those pictures. All right, so this piece is laid in place. I wet over top of it. We're going to start in the middle, right here. Squeegee in the water out. Now when we come to this top piece here, one of the neat things you can do with paint protection, if you just put a little pressure pulling it out, you can see how it laid down the piece on this body line. So making sure that you're nice and tight. Give it a little pressure. That'll help to lay it out. And that'll get it over the curb. And again, you're squeegeeing from the middle to the outsides. And that piece is there. And then, as it goes over the sides, you've already attached it where it butts up against one another, and you're squeegeeing from the middle down and out. And paint protection film is quite forgiving, quite easy to work with, especially because it's wet and you can pull it up multiple times. All right, so that piece is on. The video is shot in real time, so